Humans are makers. We can take dead things, a pen, a brush, some scraps of paper, and turn it into art. But art takes work, craft. And art forms find their makers as much as their makers find them. Why does that happen? What really goes into making art? That's what this show is about. We tell the stories of ordinary people and the hard work of their extraordinary art. I'm Kevin Elliott, and this is Craft.
To be honest with you, I started doing this because I thought it would be easier than it is.
Stand-up comedy is weird. It's a single person locked in a dark room with strangers, many of whom have been drinking, trying to make them laugh. Success and failure literally hang on every word. Stand-up comedy can go supremely well and everyone has a good time, or horribly wrong, and the comic is publicly shamed. Then why do we like it so much? And what makes someone want to do it? This is Jason Hennon.
Keep it going. Wait a minute, Andrew. I see what's going on here.
He has been an actor and college theater professor for more than 20 years. He is a respected professional in an established career. Then why, in his early 40s, did he decide to pursue stand-up on the side and risk public ridicule?
You know, I saw it and I was like, I can do that. I'm funny. A lot of people, I'm funny with my friends. My students think I'm funny. My wife used to think I was funny. So let's do this.
Good evening, House of Bourbon.
You might say to yourself, well, Jason is a stage actor. Stand-up is just another performance, right? According to him, his stage training did give him some advantages, but the immediacy of stand-up makes it different.
When you're on the spot and it's like, hey, be funny guy, it's a totally different ballgame.
This little guy right here is my souvenir from spring break last year. I sobered him up real quick.
It's just you. If it's not working, it's your fault. If it is working, it's your fault.
Every field has a specialized vocabulary. Stand-up is no different. For Jason, part of learning to be a comic meant speaking the language.
In comedy, when you do really well, you kill it. I still say break a leg, and people look at me like I'm crazy. I don't know what you're supposed to say. Kill it. There's a lot of very violent comedy for some reason. I don't know why we're doing so much killing. Bombing and killing, yeah. So killing is good, bombing is bad. Eating shit is like bombing the worst, apparently. I forget what your question was. I got so excited by the killing and the bombing.
If you follow stand-up, you know there are types of comics. Observational, angry, raunchy. Sometimes a comic's onstage style doesn't match the person in real life. Jason's persona is a little more on the nose.
When I first started doing this, I noticed the people that seemed to be the best filtered everything through some sort of a character. And for me, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But I will tell you, I'm the only guy in khakis and a polo shirt in most of the places I perform. And so I'm sort of just like polo shirt, middle-aged dad guy.
A few nights later, my wife's like, honey, why are there 5 jars of Nutella in the pantry? Do you like Nutella? I saved the jar.
Yeah, some people tease me that I have a closet full of blue and purple polos. It's pretty true.
All artists draw inspiration from those around them, especially family. When you hear Jason talk about his father, it's hard not to see how good old-fashioned dad jokes help to shape Jason's comic persona.
My dad had a cornball sense of humor. Cornball. I mean, goofy. Like his favorite cereal in the world was Raisin Nut Bran. And his first name is Brand, B-R-A-N-D. So he would always take that black Sharpie and just write the D on the end of the serial name and leave it out until somebody commented. My dad had the best laugh in the world. He would do what we call the hee-hees, where he would just get laughing so hard that all that would come out was like, hee, hee, hee. You know, and you thought he was gonna have a heart attack or just sort of, you know, pass out. You know, he's just red and it's just squeaking. So if I could, when I could make my dad hee-hee, that was something special. So yeah. So when I have a particularly cornball joke, I know that he approves.
Hey man, if you don't mind, I'd really like to just go to the basement.
The most basic unit of comedy is a joke. One of the most fascinating aspects of stand-up is how comics write their jokes. They obsess over it, chiseling and polishing every facet until it is a little masterpiece.
I literally keep notes in my phone. I just have a little, you know, Google Drive file, and if I think of something, I've just got a bullet-pointed list. I'll sometimes read through these topics, just the topic, you know, to my wife, and she's half listening to me. And if it gets any sort of reaction, I sort of give that a little check mark, and I'm like, all right, that's a maybe. That's a maybe.
Because as a kid, I had to wear something called Husky jeans. Oh, some fellow Husky jean wearers, I see. You got me. Tight rolling your Husky jeans in the 80s, weren't you? My mom made me wear the corduroys up until 5th grade. Try looking cool in a pair of tight rolled corduroys.
Writing jokes is one thing, but you only know a joke is successful when people laugh at it. And the only way to do that is to put yourself out there in the living laboratory of stand-up, the open mic night.
And I'll take them to an open mic and I'll just work from, I've literally gone to an open mic with a stack of index cards with just a topic on it. And I look at that and I just ad-lib on that subject. And if it gets a response, then I'll sort of set it aside and then I'll do that again and refine it. You're not doing it unless the audience is there. It's not stand-up comedy. I don't know what it is. I guess it's a lonely guy in his sunroom with a lint brush, but it's not stand-up comedy.
It also seems like stand-up works best in certain spaces. Just like paintings show best in light, white galleries, a great stand-up room has the right chemistry.
You want it to be dark, the audience to be in the dark, and you want it to be cold. Typically, you want a smaller venue with a lower ceiling. Dark, cold, and tight. That'll be my album.
All right, so now you have a proven set and the right room. But the work of comedy is just beginning. A stand-up performance is a two-way conversation between the comic and audience. The best comics get in sync with their audience and set a rhythm. It's like dancing to words and laughter.
A tennis match is not super exciting when it's just... But when it's... You know, then it's exciting.
At that moment, I realized I am not cool enough to be in this store. I am not attractive enough to be in this store. So I went back to Walmart. Because at Walmart, I'm a 10.
I describe a laugh as like a wave, and it sort of peaks and it starts to come down. And if you're in a play, and I guess this is the same for stand-up, I never thought of it. If you say the next line too soon, you'll teach the audience not to laugh because they want to hear the play, they want to hear the dialogue.
A room full of laughing people. Success. The comic's hard work has paid off. But here's the real irony of stand-up. Once a comic climbs the mountain and kills, it's time to hike back down and start again. Back to the open mics with a new set of unproven jokes.
It's hard when you go into a room like an open mic and there's a bunch of people who you know have not heard your material before. And you know you could kill with like your 5 to 7 minutes that's tried and tested and true. But you know that's not why you're there tonight. You're there to say some things for the first time ever, most of which will probably fail miserably.
This is what makes stand-ups different from you and me. To practice this art form, you must have an appetite for failure. and not private failure. You have to be willing to bomb publicly, in real time, and for all to see.
And when it doesn't go well, that's not enough to be like, oh, okay, I got that out of my system. You're like, no, that should have worked. How do we tweak it? Yeah, it's kind of addicting.
So why do it? Why sign up to shame yourself in front of others? Because killing is everything.
Because when it works, man, it's like a high. I mean, it's a rush. You know, not unlike being on stage, not unlike. Well, if I had ever gotten on the field when I played sports, I imagine it would have been like that. But who doesn't like to laugh? You know, make people laugh. It's pretty cool.